It's all fake. Understand what I'm saying? This life, this game, ain't no love in it, don't love you back.
Yeah, look, tell them hold up, wait. You already know who it is. I'm a great, I ain't gotta say my name in this bitch. I'm a monster. Yeah, I've been away for a bit.
Cocaine, David Blaine, Insane the Membrane. Lakers in 5.
Hello and welcome to another episode of USL After Dark. I'm your host, Kevin. Alongside with me tonight are my three co-hosts, Mountain, Mecca, and Pistor. What's going on, guys?
Hola. How you doing?
Good. All right, so we're here tonight to go quickly through last week's matches, give our breakdown of next week, go over our dark topics, and everyone's favorite bottom three players from last week. But first, let's just quickly go over last week. So it was Franco over Evolution, 113-38. Cocaine over Macro, 61-31. K-Dude over Darkslayers in an interesting little match that happened. It was 20-14. And it was Darkslayers over Franco, 51-37. So I'm gonna ask you guys, what was the biggest takeaway from last week that you guys saw? Pistor, what'd you have last week? Anything?
My biggest takeaway is that refs aren't following the rule. They're keeping their decisions or the camp timer decisions private, even though they, in my opinion, they should have told the community like, "Hey, these are the reasons behind why everything's all right." I guess. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you don't have to go too in depth. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm sure we'll
Leave it.
cover it later on.
Yeah, no, for sure. Mountain, you have your biggest takeaway of last week?
My biggest takeaway came from two matches. One was from the Franco match, and then the other one was from the Darkslayers versus K-Dude match. In both of those matches, it's actually a very good learning experience for a lot of teams, where essentially, if the medic goes down, immediately almost everyone in the field should be thinking about just leaving, right, exiting the fight. But in like the Franco match, you can see, I think it was one of the first or second plays, they turned to fight instead of run, and then they all got cleaned up. So if you don't have numbers, fall out. And then also for the Darkslayers one, it was a similar thing that happened at the end where there wasn't team support by a player on the top, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, USL is about saving numbers, and I think those two matches you see where if those teams had fallen out of certain plays, they could have saved quite a bit of deaths.
Gotcha. And Mecca, biggest takeaway last week?
To quote Dennis Green, they are who we thought they were. I think every team kind of played exactly who we thought they were from the beginning. I know Macro had some, beginning of the season hype, and then kind of got demolished by Cocaine. A little close early, but it wasn't really that close. Evo's who we thought they were. Franco gets destroyed by Darkslayers, and then Darkslayers keeps it competitive versus K-Dude. So I think this time of year, kind of like in NBA and shit too, you kind of see who the teams really were the whole time, and I don't think there's any really surprise games this week at all.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. My biggest takeaway was so camping is allowed if you're a soft squad, but if you camp against them, you'll never hear the end of it. That's my biggest takeaway. I think, but I'm pretty sure we'll dive deeper into that as we go on tonight. So yeah, let's do our.
Wait.
Go ahead,
Don't
Pistor.
you
Yeah, go
wanna?
ahead.
Don't you wanna get Back's opinion on this?
Oh, hey, what up, guys?
What did you want to do his opinion on?
Yeah, Pistor.
What do you mean on the takeaway?
I'll jump into the next things. Just continue.
What? What are we doing? Pistor?
Continue the show. I'm late. Go ahead.
Okay. Perfect. Welcome back to the panel now. Adding 5 people.
What's up?
What's up? So yeah, let's go into our bottom 3 players then. Interesting. Like it was a pretty straightforward week, but we'll do our bottom 3. So we'll start with Pistor. Who's your bottom 3? Let's go with 3-2-1. Again, this is not the worst player on the worst squad like we always do. It could be leading. It could be who wasn't vocal or who DC'd or something. So go ahead. What's your bottom 3, Pistor?
So my bottom three is gonna be Kevin going 3-7. I know he was focusing out players. He was getting some kills. He was holding back teams. He did great, but I gotta play it fair. And you should have gotten more kills than just 3 kills. I think you got the most deaths. Let me double check that 1 second for the match. Yeah, you had the most deaths for our team. So gonna give it to you, Kev. Hopefully you're able to bounce back next week. Second, I'm gonna
Thanks for the
give it.
encouragement.
I'm gonna give it to Yosh. He went 0-9. Not too sure if he led or not, or he assisted leading, but 2-9 is definitely like a bad score, in my opinion. And the first, I'm gonna give it to Eric, going 0-3. Versus Dark Slayers.
All right, nice bottom three. We go Mountain on your bottom three. Who do we got last week? Bottom three.
So for my bottom three, number three I had Eric. From me watching the video and watching the match, I mean he was just getting bullied by Uni on a 1 versus 1. Um, yeah, it looks like I don't know why he looks really lost as a soloer. He seems to be getting like outfought by a lot of people, and I know the K-Dude team themselves they've been swinging Sob over the top to help him a lot in almost every fight now. So I don't know if it's a slump thing or what's going on with him. I know he had some big excuse on the other channel, but I mean you're getting bullied by someone who's not even close to you as a soloer, and you played for long. So I have him on number three. Number two, I have Typhoon. Why I have Typhoon? A lot of people probably wonder why, and I'll tell you why. It's because the very last play there was a play where Basta was fighting on the top, and he was fighting a 3 versus 3 on the Dark Slayers match versus K-Dude. And I'm pretty sure it was Typhoon, yeah, from my memory, because the video kind of clips off from USL live there or whatever, the recording. 3 people start shooting Fausto at the very top, and Typhoon, instead of pushing forward to take the fire off of him, starts backing up. And I mean, Fausto gets streamed for a good 6-7 seconds and dies, and the whole game is lost there. I mean, at this point, if you don't step up to help your teammate in a 3-on-3, the same thing's going to happen over and over again. Pretty basic fighting for Marines if you can't get that through your head at this point. So I have him at number 2 there. And then number 1, I have Yosh. 0-9 is just absolutely horrid. Yeah, I think it just continues on from what I said last week. You don't have all the good players from those K-Dudes rosters kind of hiding his playstyle. And on that macro team, you can kind of see him get exposed, right? I know, for example, for us last season in the playoffs, we specifically were targeting Yosh. And yeah, I think the format they ran against us last week was really bad because arguably you took away one of the best LMGs in USL in the last 5 years history, Rio, and you took the damage away and made him yourself the LMG, who's doing very minimal. I mean, 35 points is pretty pathetic. So those are my top three.
Yeah, I think Yosh is going to be pretty consistent here, but we'll figure that out right now with Mecca, bottom three. Let's hear it.
Yeah, number 3 is going to be Yosh. 0-9. Everything SV said. Definitely reiterating taking Rio off LMG. Rio's obviously still a really good Marine, but that LMG effect you see with like Splitta and Rio and Kaga when they just like go to the next level once they're on LMG compared to the Marine is pretty apparent. So taking that legacy off that just doesn't make any much sense to me. Number 2 is Big Bird going 3-9 in a 14 kill game, -6. I know he was leading and he's fresh back, but he's got to try to get a few more kills than that and less deaths. He had the most deaths on the team as the leader. which you're not going to win very many matches like that. And then my number 1 is Bax going 8-8. A lot of times I saw Bax, he was just kind of running it down mid after he got a kill. I'm not sure what he's doing. I think he would have been a lot better off in this game playing Ripper. I know people have been telling him to Marine all season, but if he would have went Ripper in this match for the whole thing, I think they would have done pretty well because he got a few good kills early, and then if he could have stayed consistent and not just started feeding at the end, I think Franco might have been able to actually pull this away.
Interesting. I see a trend with you on one of those players. Keep seeing coming up.
Big Bird?
Someone else with a B.
He's a hater. I play Ripper. It's a problem. I choose to go
Oh.
Marine. It's a problem. Can't win.
Oh, we do a okay.
We go in order here on the show.
Continue.
We go in order here, and then you speak after. But
Continue.
So we had so I'll do my bottom 3 next, since Bax was a late show here. I'm not sure why he was here, but he's here now. So my bottom 3, I'll put myself in there.
Bam.
So I was I didn't do anything wrong. I was the support Marine. I didn't have to do any kills. We won by 25 or whatever it was. All I had to do was sit there and hold people. I was holding 3 people at a time. The medic would swing between me and Mecca. If you go back and watch the video, we would hold 4 people at a time. I think I was 3 and 4 as Marine, and then I switched to Nader, and I died 3 times in the last 8 minutes. So I was just shooting mortars and then running it down, trying to get more mortars. That's why I died 7 times. But my number 2, Bax. Bax is the reason Hop didn't play. If Bax didn't do what he does, they might have had a better shot with Hop.
You're an idiot.
He's the reason why. He's probably their best Marine. He's one of the best dodgers I've seen, to be honest, other than Bax, but Bax can't do both. So yeah, Bax is my number 2. And number 1, I think everybody had this on their board, but yeah, Yosh 0-9 as LMG. Did really well the week prior as LMG, so that's probably why he stuck with LMG. But it probably has to deal with just no cohesiveness on that team. They don't know what's going on half the time. I feel like half the team knows, like Rio, obviously, Aerith. Having no Albert didn't help. But you got to give Rio that LMG, I still feel like, because he only had, what did he have? I think he only had 6 kills in the last 2 minutes, and then he got 2 kills, and he ended with, what did he end with? Rio had him. I think he ended with 8, but he only had 6 kills, and then he got the 2 at the end to get him to 8 kills in that match. So yeah, Yosh is my number 1, bottom 3.
Can I weigh in on something before we move on?
No, wait your turn. Wait your turn.
No, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Simple.
As far as Kevin being the bottom 3, I don't think you were. I mean, like you said, you were next to me all game, and we were literally holding 3 in a solo or 4 all game, while the other team was getting all the kills. And Pistor was with me a couple times too. Like I only ended up 7 and 4 as well, because the other teams were the teams killing. Like we were holding like Chompy, Ahmed, and Rio most of the time. So we were like holding, their best players and the other team. So I don't think your 3 and 7 is nearly as bad as everybody's making up to be, especially because, like you said, it's Nader.
How convenient.
That's why you were not in my bottom 3. Even people are going to say I'm biased, but I'm not biased. I just played the game and watched the game.
Clearly biased.
No, yeah, I was saying the same thing. Well, score-wise, 3 and 7, I should definitely do better.
Not great.
Yeah, we were holding
so
many the entire time, and the other team was doing work for sure. But I guess Bax, we can give you a moment to speak here. Do you have a bottom 3 from last week?
Yeah. First, let's start with Kevin. You're obviously, Kevin's being biased against you because you're on his squad, so he's got to say nice thing.
I'm being biased by putting myself bottom 3. Okay.
No, I said Mecca's being biased, not you.
Kevin.
Oh, my bad. So Mecca's being biased by supporting that you're not bottom 3. Yeah, let me talk. If I win 3 and 7 in a win, you'd all be on my dick saying, "Hey, Bax, even in a win he can't get kills." Right? That's what you say. So yeah, easily Kevin's bottom 3. If you disagree with that, then you're stupid, or you're obviously on his squad. Another thing, the next person on bottom 3 is Hop. All right. You guys should be called CNN after dark.
I don't think he played though.
You guys should be called CNN after dark. Because all you're talking about is bullshit. Like, what are you basing your statement on, Kev? Go, tell me.
You are the captain, and he raged.
No. You said I fought with Hop, and I did my usual bullshit. Go ahead. How do you come to that conclusion? Let's hear it.
No, I said you are the captain, and he didn't
You
show
said
up. That
Bax
was
does
my
what he
read.
does and pissed Hop off.
That's true,
So
though.
where'd you
You
get
did.
that from? Oh, I did.
Oh,
Did I? Were you
got it
there, Mecca, or no?
From Octavian. Octavian
Oh,
gave me
Oct was
the
on your
inside
Discord.
information.
Oct was not on Discord.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay.
Okay. Now he's on my bottom 3. Why? And Hop could even confirm this. As soon as he went off on me for no reason at all, for zero reason, you could even ask
Wow.
Pandy or Sabotage.
I don't think we can say no reason, but
Zero reason
Okay.
at all. And he sent me a message right before the match apologizing, but it went to my phone's Discord, so I didn't read it. I would have put him in easily because I don't really give a fuck. He apologized, whatever. So yeah, Hop's my bottom 3 for letting the team down, and he's since apologized. But what he did was not right. He literally had a meltdown because of an SB during cocaine, and that's how Oct wasn't on our Discord because he was on your Discord, SBing. So you guys, messed us up in an SB. We're down by 40 in like 10 minutes. He raged at me for some reason, and I told him get the fuck off the Discord. Then you're going crazy before a match. Just get off them, and he left, and then he apologized.
Why was the reason for him raging though? Like
he blamed it on the SB. I showed the screenshot like 3 times.
was it anything
What were you
specific you
leading?
did, or was it a class?
I wasn't
you were
leading. Big Bird
playing,
was
or-
You
leading.
want to
Big
change
Bird?
classes?
Nope.
And
Big
say,
Bird was
hey,
leading.
What class should I play?
Big Bird was
You weren't
leading.
gonna LMG over Sabo or anything? That didn't come up at all.
No, Big Bird was leading,
Oh, okay.
and he took out his anger on Big Bird on me, and that's the only thing that happened.
Do you think your 6 weeks of prior trolling could have
Prior trolling. So let me get this straight.
contributed to this?
You say I'm the bottom 3 going 8-8. Sabotage win 8-5, and you suck him off. So let me put that through my head a little bit. 8-8 versus 8-5. That's only 3 more deaths with the same amount of kills. And you're saying I'm
Yep.
bottom 3, but Sabotage is a god?
In a 14 kill game, if you
Something
die
don't
3
add
less
up.
times, it's 11 kills. That's
What about all the other
5.5.
people? Let's check. Not to throw my team under the bus, but let's just see.
Yeah, throw your team on the bus.
7 deaths, Pandy. Pandy 5-7. How is he not in your bottom 3? If I'm bottom 3 with 8-8, how is Pandy not bottom 3?
You died.
Like, you gotta have some
well
kind
with your
of
squad. Just saying, it's
Nah.
your squad.
You have to have some kind of like
Sabos,
brain to do
the 2
this.
best
You
players,
can't just
and
be
Hop.
biased and openly biased. That's like me saying, "Hey, I don't like who don't I like? I don't like Simp. I'm gonna put Simp in my bottom 3." No, I can't do that. He played great. Why would I say Simp played bad?
Who's your number one on your bottom 3?
Number 1, I didn't do them in order, but yeah.
Yeah,
All right, you have one more to do. Yeah, you have one more.
My last one is just Yosh, but I mean that's been said a couple times. I mean he is leading, so I just could put on that. I don't think it's that big a deal, but yeah, if I had to pick a number 1, I would say Kev is played the worst.
All right, great insight. Thanks,
Kev or Hop, because what Hop did was
Hop
bullshit.
didn't play, so it doesn't count.
He even worse. He didn't play. Thank you. Exactly. He quit on his team for emotional reasons that had nothing to do with me. So yeah, that's why he's on the bottom for sure.
All right, Pistor, thank you for bringing in a new topic to our thing with bringing in backs. Let's go to next week's matches. So we have one interesting match, I feel like, where it has playoff implications. I think we'll do that one last. So we'll start first with the 9:30 matchup with Macro Data versus Evolution at 9:30. Pistor, how do you break this one down?
Wait, can you repeat the question? I was playing pub.
Wow.
Yeah, Macro Data versus Evolution, 9:30. Break it down.
Macro's gonna win. I think Evo just gave up already on the season. Macro's gonna try to put all their players in. Whoever shows, like they always say, whoever shows is gonna get play time. But I really do hope that their starters show up and actually play.
For Macro.
Macro, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. We have a score prediction? Differential?
Yeah, it's going
Maybe who's
to
gonna go off?
be 60 to 20 around there, with
Ooh,
Macro
gotcha.
winning it.
All right. Mountain, Macro Data versus Evolution. Break it down. What do you got?
I think Evo's season's pretty much done. I think they're morally just finished. Especially since last week when Franco just gave him absolute belting. letting Sabo drop, I think 30 kills. Let me see, 30 kills in one match on you. Pandy 21-4. I mean, Bax 21-7. You think the
Don't say
game
that,
would
man.
be?
You get in trouble.
You think the game would be close, but I mean, they took a really bad beating against the team that's above them on the rankings, and yeah, I think their season's done at this point. So I think Macro is going to just continue on the stat pad. Probably be 90, 30, somewhere there.
Gotcha. Mecca, what do you got with this one?
I do think this does have playoff implications. By the way, if a game we're gonna talk about later, Cocaine beats DS, I think DS and Macro are gonna end up tied, and it's gonna go down to a tiebreaker from rating, and rating is kills and deaths. So they're gonna want to try to step at the fuck out of Evolution because right now, well, they're actually up on Dark Slayers um, in no, they're not. So yeah, Dark
They're
Slayers
behind in
is
rating. Right now they're 4, yeah, and Dark Souls is 3.
yeah, and then Dark Slayers also has a plus minus of plus 92, and Macro has negative 49.
Because they
So
can.
this match is gonna matter. So Macro Data should play their starters, even though I know it's all scheduled out or whatever. But they're gonna want these kills because they're gonna want number 3, so they can play Evo in the play-in games.
Playoff.
Because otherwise you have to play Franco, which they're probably gonna wash Franco anyways. But you always want the easier matchup, to get into the playoffs. So I think they should try to step at the fuck out of Evo. It is Urban Decay, fast respawns. So I really think I would really implore them to play their better players. They're going to be fighting from the right side too, because Evo has home. So they're going to need to go around left a lot. They probably should run a nader if they have a nader. Demo if they can have somebody demo. Maybe have Yosh demo or something. Let Rio LMG and drop 30 on them just so they can stat pad more.
No, yeah, it's a good point. I forgot about the rating. So they do have to play like to win by a lot. Like that's just what they got to do.
Is it? I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Like there, I see on this standing it's 28-28, and then 24-24, and then both of them won in OT, right?
Yep.
So then, like, how does the rules work? Is it most kills then, or like what?
Well, right now it goes by rating. That's what the rules are.
Yeah, the rule is rating, which is weird, kind of dumb, but because they wanted to get away from stat padding, even though stat padding is going to boost your rating, so they have to stat pad regardless, just to be sure the rating is going to be good.
And Dark Slayers plays Franco, and Macro plays K Dude next week. So they're probably both going to up 5 and 5. But obviously, Dark Slayers is going to have a better plus minus in week 8 than MDR. So it might be a moot point, but you got to put yourself in the position to get the third seed.
Yeah, it's definitely going to matter because it's either going to play. I mean, you either get Franco or you get Evo. I mean, you can't go wrong with either one. If you can play against backs.
That makes no sense. Y'all need to separate me from Franco.
Actually, I'll give you time to talk.
Stupid.
You're next.
I'll bite my tongue.
But yeah, I gotta see. I want to see some guys step up here. I gotta see their best players. Maybe Albert shows back up. I think he missed the last 2 weeks. I think Chompy needs to show up, get some kills here. Maybe Chompy can LNG and Rio Marine if Chompy shows. I think Yo should stick to maybe Yosh can figure out either demo or nader on this one for against Evo.
I think Yosh should nader. Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, especially on UD, keep them at bay, keep them close to their base. I think that's the best play for Yosh here. But yeah, I see Macro winning this one pretty handily. They're gonna have to if Angels listens to this. He can get his guys all to log in and boost up the score. Get that rating.
But when Yosh went AT, didn't we give him the advice of him potentially going LMG since he could get kills and just stream more? And
I don't think he
then
needs to
we
get kills,
even
though.
but we even said like, hey, he should change from AT to LMG, right? And then we said, well, Rio is LMG, and we were like, you know what? He's a good Marine also.
Yeah, but true. You make a fair point. I think Yo should just lead and then stay alive. I think at this point, but 0-9, he can't go 0-9. Like the 9 deaths is what kills him.
Yeah,
But you're right. We did switch up our thing.
I think the big thing with LMG too is, and this happens to a lot of players, even the good LMGs. When you're LMG, you're W keying the whole time. Like it's in your nature to
True.
W key. So Yosh shouldn't be that aggressive if he's leading. So if you take him off
Yeah.
LMG, it's a double win for them. You get Rio, who's S plus at LMG and probably S minus at Marine, something like that. And then you also have Yosh not dying every every battle as the leader. So I think it's a double hit when he goes LMG.
Yeah, if he's I agree with that. If he's leading, he should switch it up. Like be in the back is fine. When you lead, don't die as a leader. So dying as LMG just takes away your firepower.
Mm-hmm.
But Max, go ahead. What do you got to say? Evo versus Macro?
Quickly about this match, not much to say. Obviously, Macro's going to win. This is going to be one of the few matches they'll actually push. I don't care what these guys say. They don't really push. They barely pushed us when they had the better side on Mountain's heavily favored shitty right side. They barely pushed us, and we only lost by 17. So all this talk about Macro like being so much better than Franco, we lost to them by 10, and then we lost to them by 17. Do you guys need to separate my hatred for me from Franco and all these other guys and look at the actual games? We lost to Macro by 10. We lost to them by 17. We lost to DS. Mecca said they destroyed us last week. They beat us by 14, and they were home. Oh, no, we were home. We lost by 14.
Yeah, on the better side.
No, they were home.
So they were on the right side.
They were home. They were home. Yep. Franco at Dark Slayers, 37-51. We lost by 14 when they had the better side. So you need to really stop talking out of your ass and look at the stats and stop letting my
real
hate.
14 or was it?
I don't care what it is. It's 14. It's 14. It's 14. How can you say real 14? All right, so you're 3-7. Was it a real 3-7 or was it a 7-7?
I think there's nuance.
And why is it a double standard if I go 3-7? Oh, it's a real 3-7. But anyway, macro data is not as good as people think, and neither is DS. Neither is DS.
Think they're exactly where they're supposed to be.
No, you're putting me and Evo on this. Not me and Evo. Franco and Evolution on the same wavelength.
We literally just said that they want macro should stat pad so they can play Evo instead of macro.
Yeah, but you Kevin was implying, oh, Evo or Franco. You said they're gonna roll over either one of us. Like it doesn't matter, which is not true.
No, they want to play Evo.
They want to play Evo. That's what we were just saying.
And you just said doesn't really matter. They'll beat Franco anyway.
DS, I was talking about, not MDR.
Okay, so DS, we have a shot beating. Just want to get that clear. No,
MDR, you have a shot beating.
No, yeah.
Listen,
map dependent.
Doesn't matter. Whole season, everyone's. Anyway, whatever. Regarding this match, it's not even a match really. Hopefully, they actually push this match. If you look at their kills, they haven't gotten many kills. They haven't died many times. I guess that's just their play style. But I heard what's his face say that we're trying to really push them. They weren't trying to push it at all. So that's all I gotta say.
Well, you also have to remember back, it's their first season actually playing. Out of Rio, Staley, Yosh, everyone else is kind of new. Even Chompy, Chompy showed up.
And they're a really good, good squad. I'm not hating on them. I'm hating on you guys saying that they destroyed us. Dark Slayers destroyed us. Macrodata destroyed us. Look at the stats. What are you guys talking about? Cocaine beat us by 10. We lost to Cocaine by 10. What are you guys talking about?
I think
do you guys just hear what you're saying?
If you watch the match back,
I don't care if
a shot at winning.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter. Against Cocaine, you guys were down 30 all game and made a couple good pushes at the end in garbage time when it didn't matter.
Garbage. Okay. So when it's backs or Franco getting some kills at the end, it's garbage time. But when you guys do it, it was a close game.
4-30.
That is young.
It doesn't. You guys don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You got to pick a lane.
I think that's all we have for Macro versus Evo. But we can go into the next one that we have. We have K-Dude at Franco at 11 p.m. Thanks for scheduling the match there, Bax. Pistor, how do you see this one going down? K-Dude at Franco on Urban Decay.
K-Dude is just going to take it. Sorry, Bax, but you guys hopefully show up. Hopefully Ninja shows up so you guys at least don't get blown out by 100.
Match is meaningless though, right?
So then just don't show up at all then.
No, I'm asking. Is it? I'm pretty sure it's meaningless.
It is, but you still want to play, right?
Well, I'm actually looking if it is. I don't know. Macro's not gonna lose.
Nothing's gonna change. Nothing will change.
That's not true.
Let Bax give his time to talk. Pistor, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think the winning score is gonna be, if Ninja doesn't show up, K-Dude's gonna break 100 to maybe 27. But I really do hope that back squad pulls it together, does some ambush plays, play smart, and don't feed them that many kills. So prove me wrong.
Nice. Mountain, what do you got here? Franco at, or excuse me, what is it? K-Dude at? Yeah, K-Dude at Franco, Urban Decay.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a blowout. I think it'll start slow, where Franco will probably camp the first few seconds, but Stav's team's pretty much going to expect that anyways, so it's not going to work. And I think once they open the can to everything, it'll just become a runaway, and they'll get stat padded. I don't think Ninja is going to show up like people are saying, because Ninja always goes through this phase where he'll be active for 2 months, and then he'll just disappear off the top of the map and go play Star Wars Galaxy. So he's in that phase right now where he's just not here. And he might not even come back even for playoffs, right? So I don't think Franco has the firepower to fight K-Dude. And I think you're just going to see people like Colossal put up big stats. Eric, Sov, TG. Yeah, I think their main players will just stat pad them at some point. I think it'll end up maybe 110 to 20.
Oof. Rough. Yeah, we go Mecca next. What do you got?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think Ninja might show. I know he wanted to play against the better squads this season, kind of see what he can do. They need him for sure because Eric's going to have that solo flank, and Franco doesn't really have a guy that can counter Ninja Eric without Ninja on there, as far as experience soloing and everything like that goes. I mean, they have some good players like Pandy and Sabo and Hop, but they're better suited, I think, pushing as a team. So I think if it's Big Bird leading, because Bax won't lead his own squad, he should set up some plays for sure. They have the better side. They can go left. You can go up the left side if you want with quicker respawn. Camp the left side of the rocks. I would like to see them slow it down. I don't know if they will, but I would like to see them actually try. You don't want to just give away and get blown out when the playoffs are around the corner or the play-in for them. You want some confidence going into the into the postseason. I don't think you just give up and say, you know what, fuck it, it's K-Dude, let's lose by 1 million. I think that's bad for morale when morale's already pretty down on that squad.
Yeah, true. I mean, for my breakdown, this is Sav's map. This is the one he likes. This is the one where he can hide the most numbers. He loves playing around the buildings. He loves sending 2 solos, sometimes even just the guy super solo and then the guy on the road or something. But this is his bread and butter, in my opinion. I do see if Ninja shows, does it help? Sure. But is it going to matter? No. K-Dude's going to take this one. I would like to see some new guys get in for K-Dude. Maybe Ace gets in, Revenge, Ron, Slav maybe makes an appearance. We'll see. Maybe, hopefully, get him in. Slav, I know you're listening. But yeah, I see K-Dude was winning this one. Pure blowout. I like 120 to 30. I give Bax 3 kills on the game. But yeah, Bax, you can talk about this one next since you're the captain of Franco. You are home. How do you see this one shaking up?
Honestly, I don't think we're gonna win. But we're not gonna lose by 110 to 30 or whatever the hell you guys are saying. Especially not on the left side. This is their strongest map, I think. That's why they want to use these maps this season, so they could completely wipe the floor with cocaine on this map. That's why you guys are kind of scared of this map. But this is their best map, and we're screwed. But thankfully, it doesn't matter, and we just have to focus on the next step, which is if we could beat Macro or DS in the playoffs, I think we're happy. But they're gonna win. I'm gonna be straight up honest. They're gonna win by like 45, I think, max. The problem on my squad is we have no leader. Sure, blame it on me. It doesn't matter. But every time someone leads, it seems like they just give up. Especially myself. I can't lead for shit. Big Bird's been trying to lead, but he's not on during the week, so it doesn't even matter. He can't log on Sundays and just lead, and people are gonna listen. It doesn't work like that. But yeah, they'll win, but not by 80, like you guys say.
Gotcha. All right. Pistor, do you have anything to add to that? I know you like to add something at the very end.
Nah, fine.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Appreciate it. So yeah, the next match, huge playoff implications, where we have the 10-15 Dark Slayers at Cocaine. Pistor, I know you are the captain of Cocaine. How do you see this one shaking up? Don't give up too much information. Go ahead. What do you got?
Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna win. Hopefully this doesn't jinx it, but game is gonna start very, very slow. Both squads they're not gonna wanna push into bad chokes, bad positions. There's gonna be multiple solos, I believe. Phlow and maybe Typhoon. So we're definitely gonna have to play it smart. Actually, both teams are gonna have to play it smart. But at the end, we're gonna take it. I believe in our Marines. I believe in our medics. I'm gonna position my team to the best of my capabilities for the angles and take the win.
All right. You have a score? Is it gonna be high, low? Maybe win by 10, win by 6?
I think we're probably gonna win by 20.
Perfect.
At the end, it's just gonna get messy.
Yeah. That's usually how it ends up. You got to try and push to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mountain, how do you see this one breaking down? Where we have, what did I say?
I'll take the opposite end on this, just because
Whoa.
a little bit different. I'm gonna say Dark Slayers wins this.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Let me kick
hey!
someone. Let me kick someone.
Hey.
All right, I'll be away next week. Good luck, guys. No, I'm gonna choose Dark Slayers this one. I'm gonna say the match is gonna be 20-11. I think it'd be very close. Only if Dark Slayers shows their starting lineup for the playoffs. And I think this is what my opinion would be for their starters. Bosto, Molo, Kaga, King, Shasta, Typhoon, Manu, and Havoc. I think that's a very good starting lineup for playoffs, and they could definitely win this game against us if those starters show there. I think if you put Union, then you're gonna automatically lose. But yeah, I think it's 10-11, and I think it'll be very close. And I think the match will just stalemate at some points during the fighting between us.
Interesting. Urban Decay. Low scoring. Never know. Mecca, go ahead.
I'm gonna take Cocaine on this one. I think we have the superior support players, and support players matter on this map. You probably see us run some sort of combination of demo, nader, AT. I think we're better at pretty much all of them. I mean, Tier's a really good nader, but Kevin's mortars on UD are pretty phenomenal. So I think we take it. I think we take it by probably 16, 17, somewhere in there. Probably like 50-33 would be my guess in favor of Cocaine.
Perfect. Yeah. Urban Decay, quick respawns, a lot of fights south, a lot of nader demo action that's going to happen here. I see us pulling away with a victory. I see Mountain's been. I think the last match we had MVP as either Leak or Danny. But if you rewatch that, Mountain got all the angles and caused Leak and Danny to get all the kills. If anybody wants to go back and rewatch that, so I see Mountain getting a big game here, getting the angles, getting the spots where he needs to be to let us get into situations where we can win. Quick respawns, like I said. Able to hide all your vision, all your guys can hide, which is nice for any support classes. So yeah, I see us winning. I see it a little high scoring. I think we're going to try and push and try and say, hey, we're the number one squad. This is for a reason. We'll figure it out though. I think we win like 60-40, something like that. But yeah, we'll let Bax talk since he's already coughing and ready to go. So Bax, go ahead.
Clear my throat, but okay. Yeah, Mountain is absolutely out of his mind to think it's going to be 2011. I don't know where you got that from, but I think Camp Kane will win this, and I think Mountain should go AT.
Did you write that one down when you had to say it?
Yeah, he's been waiting on that one for weeks.
Write what down?
You got that? You got that in the mirror?
Kane. What did I say?
No, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, so Camp Kane will win this. Mountain has to go AT on this map. I've been seeing him AT. I don't know if he's gonna AT, but I've seen him AT, and Pistor should definitely let him AT, which you probably will. I think you guys will win by 65-38. Decent match, but I mean, you guys are just gonna win, and you guys are home. So I think this is one of the few matches you guys won't camp, and you guys want to prove them wrong that you can't camp. But it's a garbage match that doesn't really matter much. So you guys are gonna
a lot, actually. It's a
not really
match. If
not really.
Flares win,
not for you guys. Not for you guys.
Yeah,
no, it is the biggest match.
We could lose first.
It's a huge match. Yeah, it's a huge
No.
match. If we lose first seed. Yes.
You're home on UD. It's not.
So
it's
a
not
big
that big a
match.
deal for you guys. No, it's not. It's not a big match.
No, it's a big match.
If you guys lose, then
It's
yeah,
all
I guess whatever. You guys aren't going to lose. There's no way you guys lose. That's why I don't think it's a big match. Yeah, you guys win it. But yeah, you guys are going to try to prove to the world that you don't camp. So this is a good game to do that.
Backs.
They've
never called camp timer on us ever.
Okay,
In
well,
this whole season.
It's my opinion.
Okay.
Right.
Just giving you facts.
Well, I gave facts, but they're never good enough, right? Anyway, that's my opinion on the match. Mountain go AT, and you guys will win by a lot.
Awesome. Thanks, Bax. Anything anyone else has to say about next week's matches before we get into our dark topics? Pistor? I know he's like to chime in at the end.
I'm good.
Okay. Let's go straight into our dark topics then. Some people's favorite parts of the show. Does anybody want to volunteer going first? Pistor, you want to go first with your dark topic?
I don't actually have one.
This guy never comes prepared. Mountain, you have a dark topic.
I have a couple questions and dark topics.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll start with. Want to do one or want to do a couple?
Yeah, I can do a couple. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, do a couple. Go ahead. What do you got?
Yosh has gone 0-9 this season. This week, 4-13 versus K-Dude and 0-5 versus Dark Slayers. Should Yosh be benched or moved to the meta class, since it might be a better choice playing a new CTF player than a person who can't even fight properly?
Oof. Anybody got anything on that? Pistor, you have anything with that?
I think
Wait, was that a question or a statement?
Yeah, it's asking if he should be moved to a different class or benched.
He definitely, in my opinion, he definitely gives guidance to the new players' positioning. The problem is that what's happening with him, it might be that he's just worrying about the other players around him, and that might be the reason why he's not performing to everyone's, like, I guess, standards, right? Like, I know he's coming from soft squad to coming to this squad. He might not be getting multiple kills like he did before, because before everybody would just like stream the opposing team out. This time around, he's the one responsible to like getting the first kill pretty much, right? So it might be a combination of him leading, him worrying about other players' positioning that might be making him play bad, at least for the last 2 weeks.
Anybody else want to chime in?
I mean, that's insane to say Yo should bench. I mean, I think Macro's, he's a huge part of their success. I don't care that he's 20 and 40 on the season. He doesn't he lead half the time or leads full time, right? Pretty sure he does.
Yeah, with Albert being MIA, I think he's their main leader.
Yeah. Okay. So you put Yosh on my squad to lead us. I guarantee we're not 2-6. That's pretty much
one and 7 probably.
3 and 5.
Nah, hell no. We would have beat Darkslayers or Macro if we had a leader
K2 too,
even
probably,
as
right?
good as Yosh. As good as Yosh. That's what I'm saying is.
Agree with that.
What I'm saying is Yosh. I think having a leader is huge, and if we had Yosh on our squad, I would be hyped because I know he'd lead us, and I wouldn't care if he went 5 and 10 on the matches, but I guarantee he would have at least got us a win just by leading.
Yeah, I think Yosh is fine. He just less deaths. Like the kills don't matter as much. You have Rio, you have Chompy. Let them get the kills. That's it. Matt, you got another one? Or another dark topic?
This has to do with the comment that TG said at the end of the match there about what's their team again? I always keep forgetting their names. They keep changing it all the time. K-Dude. K-Dude not wanting to push, or sorry, K-Dude saying that other squads don't push them, and that it's boring for this league. That is the reason why. Just want to know what your guys' thoughts are on what he said there.
Pistor?
I saw that comment that he made. He also gave like additional statements during the match. I think he was just typing frustrated. In my opinion, pretty stupid comment because when we faced them, he also said something similar as like, we don't push, we camp, right? But during his match, he was camping for like 8+ minutes, as confirmed, as like Eric confirmed it, that they stayed in a location for that long.
This
I
season?
don't know. Yeah.
During
During USL, Eric confirmed that they were camping for 8+ minutes in the same location. I know that the reason why they didn't call camp timer during that was because they said that they were moving from courts, which in reality wouldn't be called a camp timer. But if you read the rules,
But it was from court to court, right? Pistor?
exactly. So the rules say that you can't go from one court to another and then go back to your original court. What they were doing is that they were in farms and then they moved to road. After like 2-3 minutes from road, they went back to farm. And that's literally the definition. Now, if they would have went to like maybe farms to road, and then from road they could have went even to like caves or something, then yeah, okay. But yeah, not sure where. And then another thing he was saying too was that no squad wants to push them or something like that, right? Or like we should be pushing them when they have the better Marines. So I don't think they did. I don't think Dark Slayers did anything wrong. They played how they were supposed to play to keep the score down and to potentially win the game. TT's comment was just uncalled for.
Yeah, I mean they got the best lineup I've seen since like Case Crew 2. Except Case Crew 2 lost, but like we're not gonna push, or no one's gonna want to push. They're gonna play it like safe. They're gonna play it perfect. You gotta wait to get your angles. You gotta wait to get the positioning. There's no reason to push. If they aren't happy with it, they can push. They're allowed to push. If they're up 2, you don't gotta camp yourselves. They can figure something out, I'm sure. But yeah, the comments, just TG. I think you're just frustrated. I don't know. That's just TG being TG, in my opinion.
I also don't. That's not why they didn't call camp timer. From what I heard, they didn't call camp timer because K-Dude had 2 separate teams in 2 different areas. So apparently that means it's not camping if you have people spread out over different chords, which, I mean, that doesn't really make sense to me, but I guess that was the referee's discretion on that one, which I don't know. Yeah,
That doesn't make sense though, right? Because the majority they actually had was in farms and road. They might
Yeah,
have
but
like 2 solos somewhere else.
they had 2 solos north. Yeah, so that apparently means they weren't camping because the entire 8 weren't in one spot.
And I
That's what it
also
was
get
then.
that, you know, if first 2 minutes, like the ref was looking at the whole match and they probably didn't see it, then okay, that's fine, you know. But there was 8 minutes long, and mostly everyone in spec was calling camp timer and was asking the ref, "Are you gonna call camp timer?" So it wasn't like they missed it or anything like that.
Yeah, it's pretty clear when you have, what was it, 4 or 5 people just staying on the farms. Like if it's that, I think if it, like you're saying, Pistor, if it's majority, then it has to be called.
But
Max,
as
did you have
far as
anything you want to-
actually,
Oh, go ahead.
them camping when they say they don't camp, like, I get it. I would have done the same thing. It's very frustrating when a team camps you all game and then they're down and they kind of want you to push. It's kind of DS's MO sometimes. So sometimes you just gotta be smart and camp yourself. Because it's not like DS wasn't camping that game too. You know, I think that's what's lost in this whole thing is that DS was definitely playing slow and camping themselves, and they waited way too long to push. But so I understand. Sometimes you just get frustrated and you say, you know what, fuck it. If they're gonna camp, we're gonna camp. You know, if that's hypocritical, that's fine. Really, all that matters at the end of the day is the win. So
No, true. But a good way to beat the other team is just to frustrate them. So we'll see how it plays in the playoffs. Mountain, do you have anything else with Dark Topics?
I would say from that topic there, I mean, this is on TG. If you play on a stacked team, what do you expect is going to happen, right? Like, if you play, like, think about the rosters he played on the last couple of seasons: Rio, Soul, Kaga, Tactical. I don't know. I don't remember the other players, but essentially, you have some of the best players all time, and then you think people are going to W key into your team all the time? I mean, come on, use your brain. You're going to be the one pushing every single fight, and that's one of the reasons why even myself I don't play on those stacked teams anymore, because the game becomes really unfun, right? You have to chase every single fight, but that's kind of what you get, what you sign up for when you play on those type of teams.
Yeah, definitely a fair point. So it's just TG being TG.
I do have one more
Mecca,
question.
go ahead. Yeah, last one.
I
Go
got
ahead.
one very last
got
question for the mailbag.
Sure.
This has to do with backs. This is a
Oh.
question about backs.
here we go.
Here we go.
Get ready.
Way
Why
to
does
skip me on the
every
last one, but continue.
Why does every back squad have internal fighting in which backs is the one always starting it? Why doesn't he keep it out of his own teams and direct it at other teams so that his own team builds chemistry? But every season they end up trolling and fighting with each other, and it looks just messy. What is going on with this team?
Solve question. All right, Bax. So you're here. Might as well answer. Give us an opinion.
Pretty much already answered this. Pretty much already answered this shit. You could go ahead and PM Hop right now.
Hey, wait. Why don't you answer why don't you direct the hate towards other people, other squads?
No. Because first you have to address what he said first, right? That
all right, go on.
He specifically cited the Hop situation, right? So I already explained. Hop apologized to me 7 minutes after our match started. I sent the screenshot like 5 times already, but you guys just, choose to talk shit and say I started shit. I didn't say any words to Hop. He blew up on me because he was pissed off at BB, and he left our Discord. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, that's Hop being, he was unstable at that moment, and he apologized. And I don't hold it against him, and I hope he plays next week. I mean, simple. And anything else about me starting shit with people on my squad is literally you're bringing up Oct, which is the biggest troll on Infantry. And yeah, me and Oct butted heads because he's an idiot. Who doesn't he bump heads with? Like, you guys are being totally irrational about this. And that's that. You guys can't even quote any other like situations where I butted heads with what? With Pistor? With Pistor?
FUP with
go ahead.
Splitta or with
Phlow?
Iceman?
Phlow. What happened with Phlow?
Phlow.
What happened with Phlow? What happened with Iceman? The Iceman was Iceman versus Splitta, not me. I don't know what you're talking about. And what happened with Phlow?
It's what, Splitter versus Backs?
The alias thing.
That was trolling Phlow. Phlow doesn't give a fuck. Phlow has played every match this season. I don't have a problem with Phlow. Phlow doesn't have a problem with me either.
Jim.
And no, what's wrong with Jim? Jim never wants to play.
What about Doris?
He's always AFK.
Doris.
That was like
Doris.
5 seasons ago, and that dude's an idiot. That dude even got shunned from CTF.
So what you're saying is the drama in your squads that happen every single season is never your fault,
I could name drama from every squad.
even though there's one common denominator.
What
Like,
about Calixstar?
I don't know. I have nothing to do with him either. People just use it as a cop out because they're weak. They're weak, and they don't want to sound weak. They don't want to sound weak, so they just blame it on backs. Easy, right? It's an easy thing to do.
All right. Let's not go crazy, guys. Let's not take each other's heads off.
Yeah,
Mecca, did you have any dark topics here?
Mine was only going to be about the camping and the consistency of refereeing.
It's only camping when backs does it, because once I had 2 groups, because I didn't get to comment on this, the TG shit. No, it's well, I'm talking from experience. Well, first of all, Mountain is saying like, "Oh, they gotta push us." Like, what do you? I mean, look at your roster. You don't dare say you guys are also a stacked roster. Like, I don't understand where you guys are coming from. Mecca's a self-proclaimed legend of infantry. Mountain top five Marine. No, like Splitter, Kevin.
We're talking about
you guys are acting like you have a shit squad. No, you guys are acting like, oh, we have to camp again. You don't have to camp against them. You just play that game scared because you had right side of Mountain's map, which is totally at a disadvantage, even though Mountain said it's better.
We were playing the numbers. It was leg 2, and we had a 22-point lead.
Okay, so you're saying if you play them in playoffs, you're not going to camp, like TG is saying?
Maybe
everybody camps in playoffs.
Yeah.
Mecca, I'll quote your words. And no, actually, Mountain. I'll quote Mountain. Mountain said he doesn't. Hold on. 2 seasons ago, Mountain said he doesn't like playing this style. True or false, Mountain?
No, I agree with you. I don't like the way we camped against K Dude. I thought that was pretty fucking pathetic.
Do you think Pistor should do that in the playoffs?
It's not my call to make. It's not my squad.
If you were the captain, would you play this scared kind of style that Pistor plays?
If that's his strategy with him trying to win,
what would your strategy be?
I think Cocaine has the firepower to outfight K Dude.
There you go. I believe the same. But I also don't believe what Gift is saying, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. You guys both camped, and I think TG camped that game just to kind of prove a point, and just because if they pushed and God forbid they lost, they wouldn't hear the end of it. So I think they took the easy way and just been like, oh, we're going to camp too. You guys did it. We're going to do it too. I wish they didn't do that, but they did it, and I mean, they had every right to, right?
I mean, if they want to camp against another squad that didn't camp against them, sure.
Well, they didn't want to go ahead and push, and I wish they did, because they could have won that game by 40 if they pushed, but they didn't. Well, I don't know why they did that, but they just didn't want to be the laughing stock, because you guys would clown on them if they lost, if they pushed. So they took the safe way and won.
They do come at other squads for camping.
Yeah, they came at you guys.
Yep.
I think they just wanted to prove a point.
So our, like, even though we won the standings, it kind of backfired in our face. I don't know if you realize that, right? Because we're playing Dark Slayers in the first round, I think. Whereas I think most of us
the lowest squad available. So if Macro and Dark Slayer,
you rather play Dark Slayers.
Macro's ahead. We play the winner of the Dark Slayer match, so
they won't be ahead though.
Yeah, they won't be ahead. There's one more week after this where
it's based on ratings. So if they both finish 5-5, we play the winner or the lowest seed, which will probably be Macro or Franco.
Okay. Then it worked out. There you go. That was a good call.
All right, worked out.
Wait, who would you rather play, Macro or Frank or Dark Slayer?
We don't have to answer that question, Bax.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, I would prefer to play Macro.
Here we go.
You're crazy if you prefer to play Macro.
Why?
They're stronger than Dark Slayers.
That's not
I don't
true.
think so.
They're stronger. You'll see.
I'd rather play Evil.
Dark Slayers. Yeah, well, Dark Slayers lost to K Dude when they kept 9 minutes by like 5. Macro lost to K Dude by 60.
If Kaga shows.
Right. Kaga's on Dark Slayers.
Yeah,
He's 100% going to show up for the playoffs, dude.
we'll see.
So
You
why
realize
would
that,
you
right?
prefer to play Dark Slayers over Macro? It doesn't make any sense.
I'm saying he's not going to show.
Yeah.
That's why playing Dark Slayers is better. Macro's
about that.
better.
You think Macro's better than Dark Slayers?
Yes.
I think you're the only person that thinks that.
Okay.
Other than the people.
I'm happy we're going to play Dark Slayers in the
Other than
playoffs.
Macro players. Okay. We'll
Even
see.
the Macro players probably don't think that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, Mecca, you have any more dark topics, or Pistor, you have one?
Yeah, I have a
We're
mailbag
cutting-
question.
we're getting close, so let's try and we'll go quick.
All right, so I only got one. Dark Slayers cost Chuck to quit by benching him for Kaga, who only plays once a week, versus Chuck, who plays most of their SBs.
Wasn't Kaga. It was Fly Molo.
What was your
No,
question, Pistor?
What was the question?
It
I
says
didn't hear a question there.
did Dark Slayers cause
Uh.
Chuck to quit? So by
I think-
benching him to play Kaga, that was the smart decision to play Kaga over a Ranger, but they also lost someone that was active during the week, while Kaga just shows up randomly, mostly versus our squad since he hates us. What are your
That's
thoughts?
not why Chuck quit, by the way. And
Oh,
Chuck was never going to start over Kaga. He's got IRL shit anyways, but like Chuck was never going to start over Kaga anyway.
Pretty sure it was over Fly Molo. But yeah.
And Chuck knows that too. Like I don't think he's shocked by that.
no, he literally went off in spec chat when he got benched.
I think it was because Shasta came and played. That was the player.
Yeah, because Chesta joined.
But Shasta is better, so he should play.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And Chuck only plays Ranger. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like if your squad leader doesn't find Ranger to be a viable class and you're
It's
only
not.
going to play Ranger, then there's really not much they can do.
Yeah, everyone who's played Ranger, except for maybe Chompy, has been pretty bad at it.
It's a shit class. If Sniper was in, Chuck would love it,
yeah.
and Chuck would
Why
snipe.
would people play that class backs?
I don't know.
Yeah, why would you play that in an important match, I wonder?
I played just fine.
All right.
That whole problem was
Yeah.
Chuck's fault. When people tell you stop playing Ranger and you're playing Ranger and you don't listen and you keep playing Ranger, that's on you.
Yeah, what I told Chuck was to practice LMG or med. Chuck's actually a pretty good med. He's medded in a few SBs, and I've actually been pretty impressed. I said he should med because I think that's Dark Slayers. Well, when Manu shows up, it's not, but when Manu doesn't show, I think they get weaker because they don't really have a strong third med. I would prefer Mufoni on Marine, I think. So I told him that he should practice med or LMG.
Yeah, it might be probably too late in the season to try that out. Probably next season, maybe.
No, this is at the beginning of the season, but yeah.
Oh,
If
gotcha.
if there is a next
Too
season.
late now. Yeah. If there is a next season. But yeah, you guys have anything else? I think we're running close to our time. Or you hit every topic you wanted to hit.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
All right, I think that's a yes. But yeah, so we'll end it there. We'd like to thank our executive producer, MP. We'd like to thank our recording producer, Victim. Thanks to you guys for getting on here and doing what you do, making this happen. I'd like to thank my co-hosts for tonight, Mecca, Pistor, Mountain, and the special guest Fax. Again, I'm Kevin, signing off for the night. Thanks for listening in, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Just to turn it to a ghost town. Used to be a knot, but we turned them to a ghost town. They don't need to understand what the plan is. We doing damage. Big glizzy on my waist whenever my hand itch. Double on this bitch is what the brand is. Hollow tip when you get hit, there ain't no bandage. Now they be hating who the man is. Never gonna stop, so tell these niggas that I can't quit. Pull up to the block so I can show you how the man live. Living as a bandit, respect that the man did. Real shit.
Put it on my life, I would never snitch. Mama raised me hood, but I'm not a bitch. You get it to the 10, cause I bring the heat. Ain't talking no mic, but this is heat. One more, you gone. Calling no shots, but I ain't talking about Tron. The streets that you walk, and you know that I own. Violence and beats, the only thing that I know.
Watch me blow, got the city on my back. Whip sits low, murked out, all black. Street by street, block by block. Feel that heat, man, we cooking up a pot. Game on lock, name calling shots. Got the red dot like the flag at Japan. Bragging you can or get you bagged in a van. Then laying in the sand, got the shovels in hand. Shotty to your body, close enough to smell your last breath. Smoke like Benghazi, posting up till only ash left. Woke up an army floating up from a casket. Open up a cardi, toasting up to the past tense. Let's go, double R, double NG. Swift and name, D-Y, get she. Cool as an ice brick, hard as an ice pick. Flicking the wrist, put you out like a light switch.
Put it on my life, I would never sneeze. Mama raised me hood, but I'm not a bitch. You get her to the 10, cause I bring the heat. And talking all might, but this is heat. One more, you gone. Calling out shots, but I ain't talking about Tron. The streets that you walk, and you know that I own. Violence and beats, the only thing that I know.
Get you in the streets, but they already knowing that. Finger on the trigger, shut your mouth, cause I'm blowing back. Going off the gas of the Jupiter, I'm blowing back. Chirac on my back, nigga, they ain't on my level. Ice Cube on the bezel, I'm a rebel, keep it metal. Yeah, I been up at the top, feet up on the pedal. OG up in the hood, ain't no bitch up in my blood. Yeah, they talk behind my back, yeah, them pussy niggas quiet. 2 chain on the neck, it's a ride. Say I'm laughing to the bank, Richard Pride. Keep the game on lock like some plies. Say I'm nasty on the beat, call me plies. I'm the shit, bitch, no flies. Keep that money in the bag, I'm the man on the block. Got that money, power, respect, call me the locks. I'm a die legend for this rap shit like I'm Pac. Got you.